This page is the cover of Sega Saturn Fan Magazine from April 1995, featuring a striking futuristic image. The main headlines jump out immediately. A huge feature promising to show everything about Daytona, USA, and a complete guide to all command techniques for Virtua Fighter 2. There's also a full strategy guide for the legendary Panzer Dragoon, a game that defined the Saturn's early visuals. A major announcement is highlighted, revealing the Hitachi HI Saturn console. Beyond the big hitters, the cover lists coverage of other notable titles like Virtual Hydlide, the Parodius Deluxe Pack, Astal, Daedalus, Rampo, Time Detective DD, Phantom Lorelei, and Side Pocket 2, Legend of the Hustler, showcasing a diverse lineup for the system at the time. This page is a stunning two-page spread heavily featuring the groundbreaking rail shooter, Panzer Dragoon, a title highlighted on the magazine's cover as having a full strategy guide. The page immediately draws the eye with large, beautifully rendered 3D images of the majestic dragon and its rider soaring through a vast, empty landscape, reinforcing the tagline, "Your room will turn into an endless horizon." Several smaller screenshots showcase intense gameplay moments, featuring the dragon battling other creatures and flying through diverse environments. The text accompanying the main feature promotes the game's core experience, flying on a magnificent dragon through a beautiful fantasy world. It highlights the use of 3D polygon characters, the realistic depiction of feathers, the eternal horizon, and the immersive 360-degree view offering exciting combat from all angles. Panzer Dragoon is listed as a fantasy shooting game, set for release on March 10th, priced at 6,800 yen. Below the main feature, under the heading Volume 5 Saturn News, are smaller previews of other upcoming Sega Saturn titles. These include Daytona USA, described as bringing the arcade racing experience home; Magic Knight Rayearth, an RPG based on the popular anime series; Blue Seed, another RPG adapted from a manga; Astal, an action RPG featuring a new hero; and Daedalus, an SF 3D shooting game centered around a giant space fortress. The page also prominently displays an image of the Sega Saturn console itself, noting its price. This page highlights the Victor JVC video CD decoder for the Sega Saturn, showcasing how this add-on transforms the console into a capable video CD player. It emphasizes the ease of use, simply plugging the decoder into the Saturn's expansion slot to unlock a world of diverse software beyond just games. The decoder boasts features like enhanced playback controls, including quick search, time skip, and various playback speeds, along with impressive still image capabilities, storing approximately 2,000 high-resolution 704 by 480 still images per disc. The article notes that the decoder is priced at 19,800 yen and is coming soon. While focusing on video playback, the page also reminds readers of the Sega Saturn's power as a gaming machine, mentioning popular titles like Virtua Fighter, Daytona USA, and Panzer Dragoon, all of which were big hits, and showcase the console's graphical and processing capabilities. The bottom section presents a selection of available video CD titles, covering a range of genres from movies and documentaries to music and karaoke, demonstrating the variety of content accessible with the decoder. It's clear that Victor JVC aimed to position the Saturn as a versatile home entertainment system, not just a gaming console. This page bursts with anticipation for upcoming Sega releases across different hardware. Prominently featured is Tempo, a unique rhythm action game for the Sega 32X, showcasing vibrant visuals and gameplay tied directly to the music. The page also highlights Mickey Mania, the timeless adventures of Mickey Mouse for the Sega Genesis, an action game that faithfully recreates classic Disney animations in playable form across various eras of Mickey's history. Finally, Surging Aura, a fantasy RPG for the Sega Genesis, is previewed, emphasizing its strategic real-time battles and appealing character designs by Inomata Mutsumi, promising a grand adventure. The overall tone conveys strong excitement for these diverse titles. This page introduces the exciting launch of a new manga magazine titled Manga Boys, bursting onto the scene with a fresh format and 5 brand new serializations. The magazine promises a lineup packed with power-up works. Featured prominently are manga adaptations of popular video games, including a series based on Virtua Fighter, highlighting Akira, and another based on the Nintendo hit, Donkey Kong Country, showcasing Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. Other series teased include a horror manga, school ghost stories, a comical fantasy, Fuyo Fuyo Heaven, and action series like God Gun World and Great Beast Camera. The page conveys a sense of high anticipation for this new publication, promising diverse genres from action to comedy and fantasy, appealing to a wide range of readers. It highlights the magazine's connection to popular media, particularly video games, suggesting a strong mix of established franchises and original stories. This page features a dual-focus spread, highlighting two key gaming publications. On the left is a preservation edition of 3Do magazine, serving as a comprehensive catalog and strategy guide for 125 different 3Do software titles. It's described as an all 3Do soft catalog and promises introductions and strategies for every game, released for the 3Do's first anniversary in 1995. The right side is dedicated entirely to the Sega Saturn port of the legendary arcade racer Daytona USA. Titled A Complete Strategy Guide, it focuses on mastering the game, offering techniques to achieve the fastest laps across all three courses: beginner, intermediate, and expert. It prominently features the iconic Hornet car and includes screenshots from the game. A red circle indicates the guide's release date around April 6th. There's also a smaller note about the 3Do magazine March-April issue currently on sale, and the next issue releasing on April 8th with a cry drum. This page is a two-page spread, with the left side serving as a vibrant advertisement and the right as the magazine's table of contents. The left features striking artwork for Sunsoft's Shanghai. The Great Wall, a mahjong game for the Sega Saturn, showing a fierce green dragon coiled around a structure made of mahjong tiles, with the title displayed prominently in brick-like characters. Smaller screenshots highlight different game modes like Classic Shanghai, Great Wall, Beijing, and King Dao, suggesting varied layouts and challenges. The right side presents the Saturn Fan Magazine's contents for April 1995. It lists feature articles and game coverage, notably highlighting an attack special on Sega's legendary arcade racer Daytona USA, and the groundbreaking railway shooter Panzer Dragoon. It also features special series coverage on games like Virtua Fighter, and covers a range of titles across Sega Saturn, Super 32X, Genesis, Mega Drive, Game Gear, and Mega CD platforms, giving readers a comprehensive look at the Sega gaming landscape of the time. The contents page provides a roadmap to the month's features, including new game previews, ranking streets, and hardware information. This page presents a comprehensive feature on the highly anticipated Sega Saturn port of the arcade racing sensation, Daytona USA. The vibrant two-page spread showcases the game with striking artwork and multiple in-game screenshots, teasing players with what to expect just 1 month before release. The article dives into the game's development status, noting it was around 70% complete at the time, but confirming that the core Daytona USA feel from the arcade original remains intact. It highlights that previously unrevealed mid- and advanced-level courses are being shown off, alongside details about compatibility with the dedicated racing controller. One particularly interesting point the article discusses is the game's surprisingly low price point compared to other flagship Saturn titles like Virtua Fighter. The magazine speculates this is a strategic move by Sega to make the game more accessible, especially with the racing controller launching simultaneously, encouraging players to dive into the full experience. Screenshots across the spread show different camera angles, UI elements, and illustrate how the game captures the arcade version's trackside details and racing action. The feature emphasizes that Sega is making every effort to deliver a faithful and exciting port. This page continues the deep dive into the Sega Saturn port of Daytona USA, shifting focus to the game's content and features. It prominently introduces the mid-level and advanced courses for the first time, detailing their unique characteristics, including trackside elements like a horse running alongside the advanced track. The article highlights the impressive fidelity of the pit stops, showcasing the animated pit crew's detailed work in varying attire, confirming this key element is faithfully reproduced from the arcade. Trackside objects such as pylons and signs are also shown to be complete and interactive, further emphasizing the port's accuracy. The beginner course, 3-7 Speedway, is revisited, with a diagram illustrating its layout and a note on the iconic Million Slot Arch, which is finished but not yet fully functional. Finally, the page confirms the official camera viewpoints for the Saturn version, stating all 4 views from the arcade are included, with the possibility of an additional new viewpoint. The magazine appears excited by the level of detail and faithfulness being achieved in the port. The next page continues the detailed look at Daytona USA on Sega Saturn, focusing entirely on the Dinosaur Canyon course. This is presented as the intermediate level track, featuring a complex layout shown prominently on a map with various points of interest labeled with dinosaur-themed names. The article breaks down the course into specific sections like Archaeopteryx Lake, Brachiosaurus Curve, Pteranodon Tunnel, and Triceratops Road, providing descriptions and accompanying screenshots for each. It highlights unique landmarks such as the Putera power plant with its windmills, the tricky Stego slope, and formations resembling dinosaur anatomy like the Brontosaurus's tail and Plesiosaur's head. The write-up emphasizes the technical nature of this course, particularly mentioning challenges within the tunnel and specific corners requiring careful navigation. It serves as a detailed guide, walking players through the track's key features and potential hazards. The next page delves into the final and most challenging track in Daytona, USA, the Seaside Street Galaxy. This sprawling course is presented as the ultimate test, boasting the longest lap distance and a complex layout that the magazine describes as a dream trip with countless famous spots. A detailed map illustrates the track's winding path and points of interest, each named after celestial bodies or concepts, like the Starlight Bridge, Andromeda Coast/Saturn Ring, and the Sasa/Space Shuttle area where launches supposedly occur. The article breaks down key sections with accompanying screenshots, highlighting demanding corners and unique landmarks. Players will navigate urban environments with imposing structures at Sirius skyscrapers near Starry Sky Hall, tackle difficult hairpin turns at the Moonlamp/Tears of the Moondrop, and encounter impressive sights like a massive warship at Planet Harbor and the enigmatic statue of Jeffrey at the asteroid belt. The commentary points out tricky areas, emphasizes the need for precise technique, particularly drifting, and even speculates on the purpose of structures like the Meteor Tower. This track is clearly designed to push players to their limits, offering a scenic yet demanding race experience. This page shifts focus from the tracks themselves to examine how the Sega Saturn version of Daytona USA faithfully reproduces the arcade experience, scrutinizing the game's various screens and sequences. It details the Attract mode, which showcases dynamic replays from different camera angles across the tracks and displays rankings. The article then covers the menu systems, including the Course Select and Mission Select screens, noting how accurately they reflect the arcade versions. The pre-race sequence, featuring the iconic "Gentlemen, Start Your Engines" voice, is also highlighted for its faithful reproduction. The Game Over and Name Entry screens, complete with voice prompts reading out entered letters, further demonstrate the port's attention to detail. The reviewers emphasize that even small visual effects, such as tire smoke and sparks from crashes, have been meticulously included, proving the impressive fidelity of the arcade conversion down to the minute details. The collection of screenshots at the bottom provides examples of the varied camera perspectives seen in the Attract mode across the game's different courses. This page introduces the highly anticipated Sega Saturn racing controller, launching alongside Daytona USA. This analog steering wheel controller aims to bring the arcade racing experience home, compatible not just with Daytona but all driving games. A standout feature is the butterfly shift mechanism, a first for home consoles, allowing for precise gear changes right from the wheel. The controller is designed for user comfort and adaptability, featuring both telescopic and tilt mechanisms that allow the handle height and angle to be adjusted across 3 stages each. This means players can find their ideal setup whether playing on the floor, a desk, or with the base gripped between their knees. The button layout places the main action buttons, A, B, C, and XYZ, conveniently near the grips for thumb and finger access, with the start button centrally located. According to the usage report, the controller feels stable when the base is secured or held firmly. While precise, subtle movements are well handled, aggressive inputs like hard drifting can cause slight controller movement, potentially impacting feel compared to a rigid arcade setup. The butterfly shift is praised for its natural feel. Overall, the reviewer found using the racing controller significantly improved lap times compared to the standard pad, and highly recommends it for dedicated racing fans seeking an authentic feel. The page also briefly mentions a Daytona USA time attack contest. This page dives deep into the world of Panzer Dragoon, focusing on strategies to help players achieve a perfect 100% shootdown ratio and earn the coveted Hunter title. It opens with a striking illustration of the rider and his dragon soaring above ancient ruins. The guide breaks down the initial stages, emphasizing the importance of mastering the lock-on laser, especially in Stage 1, where enemies are predictable. It offers specific tactics for dealing with the boss, the large battleship, advising players to prioritize taking out its cannons and attacking the containers it launches. Crucially, the guide highlights the importance of player movement.
Staying clear of obstacles and incoming projectiles is key, as collisions deplete health. It also explores the game's camera system, showing different views available, and suggesting that players experiment to find the one that best suits their style for dodging and aiming. The goal isn't just survival, it's about destroying every enemy to maximize the shot-down ratio, which is shown on the episode completed screens and impacts your final rank. This page provides essential early game tips for anyone aiming to become a true Panzer Dragoon master. This page shifts focus to the next challenges in Panzer Dragoon, breaking down the strategies for Stage 2 and Stage 3. Stage 2, titled Battle on the Sand, begins in a desert environment where players must tackle a giant worm enemy and smaller creatures attacking from multiple angles, requiring careful attention to surroundings. The level transitions to a cave, demanding awareness of enemies appearing from all directions. The boss is the prototype dragon, which challenges players with rapid movements, energy waves, and homing missiles. Learning its attack patterns and mastering dodging is crucial. Moving into Stage 3, inside an Imperial Army excavation site, the difficulty escalates. The first part features a large battleship, a variant of the Stage 1 boss, along with mobile gun batteries. The combat intensifies deep within the site, with various turrets, including those firing explosive projectiles. The final boss for Stage 3 is the transforming battleship, a complex machine that shifts forms and uses diverse attacks, including a powerful laser. The guide highlights Stage 3 as the point where the true test begins, emphasizing the need to learn the more varied and challenging enemy attack patterns in preparation for the final confrontation with the Imperial forces. This strategy guide section details Stages 4 and 5 of Panzer Dragoon. Stage 4, set in ruins, features fast scrolling and narrow passages, requiring quick reflexes to avoid obstacles and enemies like ancient machines and biological creatures. The Guardian robot boss demands players use normal shots to halt its movement and lock-on shots on its weak points, while dodging its laser. Stage 5, an air battle against the Imperial fleet, marks a significant difficulty spike. Players must prioritize targets, utilizing normal shots on weaker enemies and lock-on shots on stronger foes and bosses. The stage culminates in a battle against the Imperial flagship, where the engine must be destroyed after it fires its cannons, and the upper gun battery is a key target. The guide hints at the final battle at the tower, with the prototype dragon and the remaining Imperial forces. This page covers Virtua Fighter, bringing the classic PC RPG series into the third dimension on the Sega Saturn. The feature highlights the core systems of this virtual RPG, focusing on free movement within the 3D world. The game emphasizes exploration without extensive dialogue. Players must wander through fields and dungeons, examining surroundings to gather information. Key elements shown on screen include time, score, player life, and a crucial compass indicating direction and the path to your objective. Navigation is detailed, showing how movement is 360 degrees and how obstacles are automatically handled. The game offers 3 difficulty levels, which affect map visibility and completion. Examining suspicious spots and objects in the environment is essential for progress. A map system is included to help players navigate the complex environments when lost, displaying player and dungeon locations and the destination. The article also touches upon a high score system, providing a challenge for players to aim for. Screenshots depict the player character in outdoor environments, navigating forests, examining objects, and show interface elements like the map and status screen. This page delves deeper into the core mechanics and dungeon exploration of Virtua Fighter. Combat is presented as a real-time affair where both the player and enemies move and act simultaneously, emphasizing managing both attack and defense. The game features distinct weak and strong attacks, plus defensive options like guarding against projectiles. Beware of enemy special attacks that can inflict status effects like poison. A unique and challenging aspect is the scoring system. Your score is reset to 0 if you are defeated even once or if you save mid-game. Achieving a high score requires completing the game without dying. The level-up system is also unconventional, tied not to experience points but to clearing dungeons, which boosts your level, strength, stamina, and carrying capacity. The feature showcases various dungeons scattered across Fairyland, each filled with different traps like fire, poison gas, and pits, so watching your step is crucial. Specific areas highlighted include the Vampire Mansion, home to the first boss, a vampire, the Sealed Cave, navigated partly by minecart, and the Scorching Cave, featuring floor traps and a mad dragon boss. The adventure continues beyond these initial challenges,
leading towards the final confrontation with the Demon King Paralysis to rescue Princess Anne. This page summarizes Virtual Highlight's real-time combat, unique score and level-up systems, and the varied, trap-filled dungeons players will explore on their quest. This page features an engaging discussion titled, Sega Saturn isn't a polygon machine, it's the ultimate 2D machine, and presents two Iron Men of the industry. Hiroyuki Takahashi, representing Sonic Team and known for the Shining Force series, and Masaaki Maegawa from Treasure, celebrated for action titles like Gunstar Heroes. The conversation delves into the perception of the Sega Saturn as a polygon machine, reinforced by titles like Daytona USA, but Takahashi and Maegawa argue for its exceptional capabilities in 2D graphics. Maegawa, in particular, champions the Saturn as a prime platform for creating stunning 2D games, emphasizing the level of detail and expression possible. They discuss the challenges and opportunities of developing on the hardware, highlighting the potential for innovative 2D experiences amidst the industry's shift towards 3Ds. Takahashi also touches upon their approach to RPG development on the system. The feature includes screenshots showcasing the vibrant 2D action that the Saturn can deliver, exemplified by a game with graphics reminiscent of Treasure's signature style. The overall sentiment is a strong belief in the Saturn's strengths as a top-tier 2D gaming platform. This page presents the Kingdom of Saturn Ranking Street feature, a popular section that combines official sales data with reader contributions to determine the hottest games of the month. The main ranking for January 1st to 31st covers games across Saturn, Mega Drive, and Mega CD. Topping the charts is the soccer title Victory Goal, depicted in a screenshot showing realistic field gameplay. The ever-popular fighting game Virtua Fighter holds a strong second place, with a screenshot featuring its signature 3D polygonal characters, maintaining its sales momentum. The tactical simulation Gorta rounds out the top three, illustrated with a screenshot of characters on a battlefield. The sales analysis notes Victory Goal's successful debut and Virtua Fighter's continued strong performance. It highlights that games leveraging polygon graphics are selling particularly well, underscoring the market's interest in this technology, which aligns with the ongoing discussion about the Saturn's graphical capabilities. The page also provides separate ranking summaries for Saturn, Mega Drive/Mega CD, and Super 32X sales. Finally, it encourages readers to submit their feedback and ideas for upcoming features in the Kingdom of Saturn section. This page continues the Ranking Street feature, presenting reader-submitted game rankings and reviews across Sega Saturn, Super 32X, and Mega Drive/Mega CD. The Sega Saturn ranking shows Victory Goal holding the top spot, with Gotha entering at number 2. Reader reviews for Victory Goal offer mixed feedback, praising aspects like graphics, but noting issues with AI and balance. Gotha receives comments focusing on its strategic elements and presentation. On the Super 32X, Afterburner Complete is ranked first, drawing praise for its faithful arcade conversion, while Cyberbrawl comes in second but garners negative feedback on its visuals and gameplay. For Mega Drive/Mega CAD, the puzzle game Switch leads the list, with overwhelmingly positive reviews, highlighting its fun minigames. Dragon Slayer: The Legend of Heroes 2 is also ranked. The page also includes a call for readers to submit their own game reviews and comments on the current market situation as of mid-February, noting recent game releases and anticipation for upcoming titles. This page is dedicated to the Illustration Big Bang feature, showcasing the creative talent of readers through submitted artwork. The illustrations cover a range of popular Sega games from the time, including depictions of the robot from Metalhead, Morrigan from Darkstalkers, race cars from Daytona USA, and characters like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. There are also illustrations inspired by Panzer Dragoon and other titles, reflecting the passion readers have for these games and their characters. The page serves as a vibrant display of fan art, and includes a call for more reader submissions for future issues. This page is dedicated to showcasing the voices of Sega Saturn fans, featuring various sections for reader feedback and opinions. It includes segments like Saying What You Think, where readers share candid views, and Like a Saturn Mirror, offering insights into the console itself. There's also a quick flipping through section with miscellaneous comments. A notable discussion point is raised in the Let's Hear Something Insightful section regarding ArtDink's game Anne, which seems to have disappeared despite being highly anticipated. A screenshot is included, identified as the PlayStation version, highlighting a key feature, suggesting the Saturn version's status was uncertain or possibly cancelled. disappointing fans. The magazine battle section presents a humorous clash between readers, featuring creative, non-traditional challenges like representing a high-bit game concept with minimal detail. Finally, a personal anecdote titled Daddy Scary recounts a reader's experience with the Saturn version of Myst, detailing a moment that spooked their child. Overall, the page captures the diverse thoughts and experiences of the Saturn community, from game anticipation and disappointment to personal stories and lighthearted humor. This page features a split layout, with the left side announcing the results of a reader contest and the right dedicated to a major fighting game. On the left, we see a familiar character from the Puyo Puyo/Madu Monogatari series. This section reveals the grand prize winners and rankings from 1st to 100th place for a contest, likely involving submissions related to Madu Monogatari. The top entries include titles like Mystery of Madu Monogatari 101, All for You, and Your Wish, My Dream, attributed to various readers. This section is a detailed listing of the contest results, celebrating the creativity of the fanbase. The right side is dominated by artwork of Ryo Hazuki from Virtua Fighter 2, under the title Maximum Power. Below this, we see several screenshots showcasing classic fighting game action from Virtua Fighter, depicting moments like Time Over, KO, and Ring Out. A blue box highlights the content covered in this feature. An introduction to all special moves from the arcade version of Virtua Fighter 2, a special feature on the amazing phenomena found in the Saturn version of Virtua Fighter, a Virtua Communication monthly column, and the opening of an illustration corner. This is clearly a deep dive into the intricacies of the Virtua Fighter series, a powerhouse title for Sega. This page continues the deep dive into Virtua Fighter 2, specifically revealing more secret techniques for various characters in the arcade version. The central banner announces the second wave of new moves. The page highlights 3 fighters, Pai-chan, Akira Yuki, and Lao-chan. For Pei, the focus is on 2 new throws, explained with brief text and accompanying screenshots demonstrating the execution and result. The text notes the importance of timing for one throw and the potential danger of another. Akira's section details new continuous attack sequences, presented as maximum last continuous attacks. Screenshots illustrate complex command inputs leading to devastating combos like the collapsing mountain peak dual palm. The text emphasizes these are advanced techniques requiring precise input but yield significant rewards. Lao Yu's moves are described as having fewer completely new techniques compared to other characters introduced earlier. His updates seem to focus on refining existing strategies, particularly revolving around throws and follow-ups from specific situations like recovering from being knocked down. A column on the right, titled Virtua Coliseum, discusses a fundamental concept in the game, the difference between a correct stance and a reverse stance. It explains how the relative foot positions of the fighters significantly impact the outcome of certain moves, especially throws, highlighting a subtle but critical mechanic for skilled play. The column uses screenshots to visually differentiate the stances. Overall, the page provides essential advanced strategy for Virtua Fighter 2 players, showcasing high-level techniques and explaining core game mechanics. This page continues the exploration of advanced techniques in Virtua Fighter 2, showcasing new secret moves for several characters. The focus here is on Lion Rafal, Sarah Bryant, Kagemaru, Shun Dai, Jackie Bryant, and Jeffrey McWild, detailing additions to their arsenals that weren't immediately apparent. For Lion, the emphasis is on escaping disadvantageous situations like being near the ring edge and utilizing new throws. Sarah gains new powerful kicks, highlighted for their reach and utility in mix-ups. Kagemaru's section reveals techniques centered around receiving and countering attacks, along with new throws. Shun Dai, true to form, gets techniques tied to his drinking mechanic, powering up new throws and striking combos. Jackie Bryant is shown to have new throws and linked attack sequences, adding layers to his offensive options. Finally, Jeffrey McWild receives updates to his brawling style, notably incorporating powerful new throws. The Virtua Coliseum column persists, continuing its discussion on fundamental game mechanics, likely delving further into the nuances of character stances and their impact on specific techniques, possibly throws or reversals. Building upon the previous page's explanation, the page provides essential insights for players looking to master these diverse characters and their hidden potential in the arcade version of Virtua Fighter 2. This page dives deeper into the world of Virtua Fighter 2, continuing the comprehensive command lists for several key characters. Featured prominently at the top left is Wolf Hawkfield, specifically highlighting his greatly enhanced repertoire of throwing techniques, including some unique and powerful options like the Frankensteiner. Below this introduction, the page presents full command lists for Wolf, Akira Yuki, Pai Chan, and Jeffrey McWild as part of the ongoing Virtua Coliseum feature. These sections detail each character's full range of normal and special moves, providing essential input commands for players looking to master their favorite fighters. This page continues the deep dive into Virtua Fighter 2's combat system, picking up right where the previous one left off. It focuses on delivering the complete command lists for several more fan-favorite characters. You'll find detailed movesets and essential button inputs for mastering Lao Chan, the explosive Kagemaru, the swift Jackie Bryant, his sister Sarah Bryant, and the grappling expert Lion Rafal. Each character's signature techniques, from Lao's rapid strikes to Kagemaru's evasive maneuvers and Lion's powerful throws, are laid out clearly, showing players exactly how to execute them, using combinations of punches, kicks, guards, and directional inputs. This is crucial information for anyone looking to truly compete at a high level in Virtua Fighter 2, giving you the tools needed to unleash each fighter's full potential. The next page takes a different turn, focusing on the Sega Saturn version of Virtua Fighter and exploring quirky gameplay phenomena and community events. It touches upon the Saturn release and the ranking mode, showing an example of a player's progress. There's a fun section dedicated to strange occurrences seen in replays, highlighting weird character poses at the end of rounds and during ringouts, specifically mentioning Wolf. Further delves into specific character oddities, examining how Akira's signature Tetsuzanku throw can connect from surprisingly far away, and the distinct outcomes of Pai's parry move depending on the attack blocked. It also points out a mysterious behavior observed with Akira's Zensuho move. Beyond the game itself, the page reports on the recent Virtua Fighter Championship tournament, where the unified national champion and the ladies section champion were crowned, featuring photos from the event. It also announces an upcoming Virtua Fighter festival at Yokohama Joyopolis, with planned contests and tournaments. The page concludes with the regular Virtua Mail section showcasing reader contributions. This page reports on several new arcade games. From Sega AM2 comes Virtua Striker, described as a highly realistic polygon 3D soccer game with simple and intuitive controls for dribbling, passing, and shooting. It highlights the detailed graphics and realistic movements. Next up is Sega Rally Championship, focusing on the driving simulation, discussing the training courses, the diverse and beautiful scenery, and the importance of technique. It also mentions a nationwide time attack competition being held. Also featured is Golden Axe, The Duel, a fighting game spin-off of the classic Golden Axe series. Available in arcades and on the Sega Genesis, it retains the series' atmosphere with 10 characters battling over the Golden Axe. Special moves are noted as easy to execute, and the win poses are highlighted as a fun touch. From Data East, the page covers Suiko Enbu, a fighting game based on the Suikoden novel, featuring heroes from the story. Combat focuses on weapon use, and guarding affects weapon durability. Finally, Backfire, Quote, another rally racing game from Data East, is presented as a simple control game, with checkpoints across 6 stages, where the 2 selectable cars offer different strategic approaches. The article notes the angled camera perspective. This page showcases a lineup of new arcade games from various developers. Capcom presents Darkstalkers, Vampire Hunter, the sequel adding Phobos and Pyron as playable characters, and introducing chain combos and a special move stock system. They also reveal Street Fighter Alpha, billed as a return to the series' roots, with updated graphics and featuring characters from across the Street Fighter universe, including Ryu and Ken, with unique special meters. Namco brings Mach Breakers, a follow-up to their action sports game, featuring more characters and refined gameplay. Technos Japan revives Double Dragon as a fighting game for the Neo Geo, where iconic characters like Billy and Jimmy battle it out. Like Data East's Suiko Enbu mentioned on the previous page, weapon use is key, and guarding can affect their durability. Special moves build meter as you take damage. Next, Fatal Fury 3. Road to the Final Victory continues the popular series, introducing new fighters and significantly changing the line-switching mechanic to focus more on countering attacks. It's notable for bringing back the formidable Geese Howard as a boss. Jaleco offers Tudge Red Zone, a realistic highway racing game with dynamic conditions and obstacles.
Finally, Konami introduces Twin Bee Yahoo!, the latest cheerful installment in the Twin Bee shoot-'em-up series, with vocal themes and coupe play, alongside their racing title Speed King. The page gives a good overview of the diverse arcade scene at the time.
This page is packed with exciting news. Kicking off with big reveals for Street Fighter 2. There's confirmation of a TV anime adaptation, featuring familiar characters like Ryu, Ken, and Guile, alongside a live-action Hollywood movie. The movie section shows images of actors like Jean-Claude Van Damme, portraying Guile, and Raul Julia as Bison, highlighting the high-profile nature of the production, and hinting at the intense battles to come. Elsewhere, Banpresto is bringing the popular Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon series to the arcade, with a Beat MUP featuring the Sailor Soldiers themselves. Tecmo presents Brain Power Improvement Committee, a unique game designed to challenge players' thinking skills. Plus, a look at Ganbare Ginkun. Atlas shows off Donpachi, an explosive vertical scrolling shooter emphasizing powerful shots and bomb attacks for maximum destruction. Finally, a section covers other noteworthy arcade titles from recent exhibitions, highlighting trends like realistic racing games, such as Taito's Dangerous Curves and Namco's Cybercycles, and Sega's Rail Chase 2 light gun game. These titles suggest a diverse range of experiences hitting arcades soon. This page dives into a variety of hot topics. We start with news about the conclusion of the Magic Knight Ray Earth anime, featuring a photo of the voice actresses who brought the main characters to life. For audiophiles, there's a look at some new headphones designed to enhance the gaming sound experience with tactile vibrations. Event coverage highlights the Neo Geo CD Live Tour 2 Eyes, where fans could get hands-on with Fatal Fury 3 and other Neo Geo CD titles. The tour spanned multiple cities across Japan. In other news, the massively popular TV series The X-Files was making its way to Japan, generating significant buzz. And for fans of Puyo Puyo, there's a mention of a new racing initiative involving Compile and Yamaha. The page also features a roundup of new media releases, including soundtracks for Street Fighter 2 and Puyo Puyo CD Paradise 2, plus a Romance of the Three Kingdoms themed CD calendar. Video releases included the X-Men animated series. Finally, a strategy guide or lore book for Art of Fighting is highlighted, promising to reveal the mysteries of the popular fighting game series.
This page dives into the fascinating world of Sega's direct promotion efforts, moving beyond traditional ads to connect directly with the fans. It illustrates the multiple avenues available for users to access information, featuring Sega Video Magazine distributed to stores and rental shops for visual previews, the Sega Fax Club for game tips and news delivered right to your fax machine, and the Sega Joy telephone, offering interactive services like news updates, quizzes, and even voice recording features via phone lines across cities like Tokyo and Osaka. The page also highlights Sega Game Station and Sega Game Forum, online services accessible via Paiskvan and Nifty, which provide detailed game information, community forums, and even downloadable video clips up to 30 seconds long. Reader feedback confirms the value of these services for easy information access. It's notable that developer teams, such as the legendary AM2 Lab, also participate in these online spaces, allowing for direct interaction with fans. This demonstrates Sega's commitment to two-way communication and building a strong community around their games. This page kicks off a new series focusing on game companies making their first foray onto the Sega Saturn. It highlights two developers, Giga Communications and Grams. Giga Communications, known for their film and Crydrom work, discusses their business and plans to bring their titles to the Saturn. They are preparing 3 games: Darkseid, the classic adventure game known for its H.R. Geiger artwork; Quantum Gate, described as an interactive movie/simulation; and Sycophant, another interactive movie with a 3D graphic focus. The page features screenshots or artwork for these titles. Next up is Grams, who started their journey in games after working on Crydrom titles like Secret. They are entering the Saturn market with Quo Vadis, a story-driven simulation game featuring a large cast of characters and blending simulation battles with adventure-style story progression. Character artwork for Quo Vadis is shown, highlighting 2 characters, Hal Beranson and Irina Miller. The Grams team discusses their passion for game development and their goals for their Saturn debuts. The page also includes insights from the development staff. This page presents a reader survey and a fantastic opportunity to win prizes, with 50 software titles up for grabs in total. It's designed to gather feedback from the magazine's readers about their gaming habits,
preferences, and opinions on the current issue. The questionnaire covers a range of topics, from personal details like age and genre preferences, to more specific questions about games they plan to buy, articles they liked or disliked in the magazine, and even which games they'd like to see ported to the Sega Saturn, Super 32X, or Mega Drive/Mega CD from other systems or arcades. There's even a question specifically asking for opinions on the highly anticipated Panzer Dragoon. This month's specific prizes, given to 10 winners each, include some heavy hitters: Daytona USA and Panzer Dragoon for the Sega Saturn, Side Pocket 2, Legend of the Hustler also on Saturn, the fast-paced platformer Tempo for the Super 32X, and the classic RPG Surging Aura on the Mega Drive. Readers fill out the survey answers on a cutout postcard included on the right, following specific instructions to ensure their entry can be read by computer scanning. The deadline for entries is April 6th. This page serves as the reader survey postcard for the April present campaign. It's where readers can fill out their personal details like name and address to enter the prize draw, which we saw on the previous page offered 50 software titles. The main part of the postcard is dedicated to gathering feedback. Readers are asked to select their preferences from various lists covering the month's articles, other magazines, gaming hardware they own or are interested in, and a massive list of Sega Saturn, Super 32X, Mega Drive, and Mega CD game titles. A key section allows readers to rate specific games they've played using a scoring system, including titles like Rystar, The Shooting Star, Shanghai, Great Wall, Idol Janshi Suchipai Special, Pebble Beach Golf Links, Alien Soldier, NFL Quarterback Club, 95, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and Tempo. This feedback helps the magazine understand which games are resonating with their audience. It's a direct channel for readers to influence future content and potentially win some great games. This page is dedicated to Konami's zany shoot-'em-up compilation, the Parodius Deluxe Pack, arriving on the Sega Saturn. The pack includes 2 arcade classics, Parodius and Fantastic Parodius, bringing the series' signature humor and chowdic action to the console. Known for parodying the Gradius series with bizarre enemies like dancing showgirls, moai heads, and absurd bosses, Parodius offers a challenging yet hilarious shooting experience. The article highlights that this Saturn port aims for a faithful arcade conversion, addressing issues found in the PlayStation version. Key improvements mentioned for the Saturn version include the ability to select between arcade aspect ratio and full-screen display, and the return of boss weakness indicators that were reportedly absent in the PlayStation release. The article also touches on the processing performance, hoping for a smooth experience faithful to the arcade speed, and mentions details like background scrolling being accurately reproduced. Screenshots showcase the diverse levels and memorable bosses from both included games. It's clear the focus is on delivering the definitive home version of these beloved arcade shooters. This page features the Sega Saturn 3D shooter, Daedalus. Described as a hardcore game with a heavy atmosphere, the objective is survival by navigating narrow passages and finding an exit. Players control a mecha called Rayocorn within the government central management fortress, Daedalus, the game's primary setting. The gameplay loop is centered around exploring interconnected rooms and finding a gate key to unlock access to the next floor of the fortress. While the basic rule is simple, the path is often blocked by diverse mechanical enemies. The game emphasizes using all available tools. Movement includes standard forward/back and turning, plus strafing. Weapons include a powerful arm punch with unlimited ammo, Vulcan cannons, missiles, and lasers, which can be upgraded by finding weapon boosters. Special items provide tactical advantages like increased speed, hoverjet, boosted attack power, power booster, wide area damage, blaze laser, temporary invincibility, plasma barrier, and shield/damage repair, refresh. Using these items consumes energy or specific key items. Screenshots showcase the game's first-person perspective, with a detailed HUD displaying shield status, weapons, and radar. The environments are depicted as metallic, industrial interiors, fitting the fortress theme. The article highlights the varied enemy types and the increasing difficulty as you delve deeper into the fortress. There's also a brief mention of the game's futuristic setting in the year 2077, involving the mecha and a terrorist narrative. The overall impression is a challenging, atmospheric mecha combat simulation focused on exploration and resource management within a hostile environment. This page showcases a Mistal, a Sega Saturn action game lauded for its flashy action and vibrant visual presentation. The article highlights how the game leverages the Saturn's capabilities to create a visually stunning and dynamic experience. You play as a Tostal, the hero on a quest to rescue the maiden Lita, who has been kidnapped by the evil Geist. The game features Astel's diverse actions, including standard attacks, jumps, and unique abilities like the press move, where Astel inhales or exhales, the ground pound, which stuns enemies, and the ability to lift and throw foes. There are also mentions of combined attacks with Astel's bird companion, Mint. The stages themselves are interactive, with elements that can be destroyed or used to progress. The visuals are a key focus, with the game utilizing screen scaling, transparency effects, and large, detailed sprites to create varied environments and impressive boss encounters. Stages include lush forests, icy caverns, fiery volcanoes, and underwater areas, each with its own atmosphere and interactive elements. The article praises the detailed character animations and the overall visual flair, emphasizing how the game uses the Saturn's power to enhance the gameplay experience through these graphical techniques. The opening story establishes the mythological setting and the conflict that drives Aburastal's journey.
This page dives into the surreal world of Rampo, a 3D adventure game for the Sega Saturn that blends live-action video and CG. Based on the system used in Tetsujin Yumekanko, you step into the shoes of famous detective Itogawa Rampo to solve mysteries. The game features 3D exploration, allowing you to move freely through environments. A key mechanic is the emotion input system, where Rampo's attitude, like affirmative or negative, towards questions, influences conversations and potentially changes character reactions and the story progression. Investigation involves examining areas for items, and using items is crucial to unlocking new information or advancing. The article highlights two cases. The first involves a stolen key in room 5 of the Ogawara mansion, while the second is a more complex mystery hinted at with question marks. The page also maps out the key locations within the Ogawara mansion, and introduces prominent characters like Shinobu Ogawara, the owner, Shizuko Ogawara, Shinobu's third wife, and others residing or working there. The content emphasizes the game's unique feel and the challenge of navigating its mysteries, including a section on how deliberately using negative input can sometimes lead to interesting or necessary outcomes. There's also a mention of a gift campaign related to the game. This page features two distinct games for the Sega Saturn. On the left is Side Pocket 2, the much-anticipated sequel to the popular billiards game that hit arcades, Famicom, and Mega Drive. Now on Saturn, it boasts an adult atmosphere and positions itself as the definitive billiards experience. Players can dive into various modes like story, tournament, and trick game, mastering different types of shots such as mass and jump to clear stages and challenge opponents. The story mode even pits you against a family of hustlers. On the right side, we have Dracula Detective, an adventure game where you play as a psychic detective known as DD, tasked with finding a missing girl aboard a mysterious airship. This title takes a unique approach, conveying the entire story progression through sound rather than on-screen text, creating an immersive, movie-like feel. Movement within the airship is simple, controlled via the D-PAD, allowing players to focus on the investigation. The game features a multi-scenario system, promising different endings based on player choices and actions. It's a suspenseful adventure, with realistic airship environments and character designs by staff known for their work on anime. This page features two distinct Japanese games for the Sega Saturn. On the left we have Kakinoki Shogi, a straightforward shogi title emphasizing practical play over flashy presentations. It offers extensive settings perfect for beginners, allowing players to adjust the com's strength across multiple levels, customize the board in pieces, receive hints, and even watch Aver Susai matches. A Tsume Shogi mode is also included for practicing checkmate problems. On the right is Jankei Ryushima, a mahjong game known for its flashy style and focus on fair play. A key highlight is the roster of opponents, featuring historical figures, real-life personalities, and original characters. The game boasts fast-paced action, with the com utilizing advanced thinking. Players can engage in various modes like training or face off against opponents in a modern setting, with characters offering entertaining comments during play. This page is dedicated to Tempo on the Super 32X, highlighting its unique blend of music and dance elements integrated into an action platformer. The game stars Tempo, an energetic insect-like character, and his girlfriend Katie, who joins him in various musical performances and battles. The page showcases Tempo's vibrant world through colorful screenshots,
featuring dynamic action sequences that react to the rhythm. It details the gameplay mechanics, including rhythm-based attacks and collaborative moves with Katie. Different stages are presented, each with a distinct musical theme and visual style, such as a lively downtown performance, a bizarre indigestion performance inside a body, and a vibrant flower performance. The game promises challenging boss battles and even includes fun mini-games to enjoy. Tempo stands out for its focus on rhythm and its eye-catching, animated presentation.
This page features two distinctive Sega CD games utilizing full-motion video. On the left is Prize Fighter, a boxing simulation that uses live-action footage for a realistic feel. You'll face off against 4 challenging opponents, employing various punches and defensive moves to earn knockouts and climb the ranks. The game includes character customization, letting you improve your fighter's stats using points gained from winning bouts. The production uses monochrome video to enhance the gritty atmosphere of the boxing ring. On the right, we look at Double Switch, a real-time adventure that builds upon the mechanics of Night Trap. Players monitor security camera feeds within a mansion and strategically activate traps to capture intruders and protect the residents. The objective is to find hidden treasure throughout the estate, but allowing too many invaders to escape results in a game over. The game features a memorable cast of characters and locations brought to life through its full-motion video presentation. This page showcases Surging Aura, an intriguing RPG for the Sega Mega Drive. The article introduces the game's protagonist, Mew, a half-beast magician propelled into a battle against the sinister dark magician Rufigaido. It highlights the game's strategic real-time combat system, where actions and powerful magic spells have casting times that influence battle flow, requiring players to plan their moves carefully. Exploration is presented from a top-down view, and commands are executed using clear icons, making the system approachable. The feature details key allies who join Musha's party throughout his journey, including the soldier Fran, the warrior Baram, and the enigmatic Shiruku, hinting at a developing narrative in a unique fantasy world. The screenshots showcase both the strategic battle scenes and the overworld exploration. This page is split into 2 features, highlighting games for both the Mega Drive and Sega Saturn. On the left, there's a look at Mickey Mania, the timeless adventures of Mickey Mouse for the Mega Drive. The article points out that the stages are directly inspired by classic Mickey Mouse cartoons, making it a treat for fans. It emphasizes the game's detailed animation and Mickey's actions, noting his ability to jump, stomp, and throw marbles to defeat enemies, with appearances from characters like Pluto and the Mad Doctor. On the right, the Hyper Ultech section provides useful tips and tricks for Sega Saturn games, specifically Clockwork Knight. These tips include methods for getting 999 of the Pelulucho items and unlocking a stage select feature, both using specific button combinations on the title screen. There's also a step-by-step guide for a continuous 1-up point exploit in Stage 2, and a tip for accessing a hidden bonus by completing an area quickly. The section also hints at a ranking system for submitted tips. This page continues the Hyper Ultech Tips and Tricks section, offering valuable secrets for several Sega games across different platforms. For Sega Saturn, we get strategies for Gotha, Ismailia War, detailing efficient unit movement, and for Victory Goal, explaining how to control the goalkeeper and access a one-person replay view. Moving to the Game Gear, there are tips for Echo the Dolphin 2, revealing a debug mode accessible via a specific button sequence, which grants options like unlimited life and camera controls. There are also tips for Gyanbura ni Ikku to access a music mode, and for Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon Mies to reach a sound test using a password. The Mega Drive section features tips for Sudoku Family, showing how to navigate menus to access different game modes and character selection. Finally, tips are provided for The Lion King on both Mega Drive and Game Gear, offering methods to access stage select and, for the Mega Drive version, even an invincibility cheat. The magazine is also seeking reader-submitted tips for potential publication. This page from the Hardware Information Bureau delivers significant news for the Sega Saturn ecosystem. Victor Japan is set to release a video CD decoder for the console, but the big headline is the urgent announcement of the Hitachi HI Saturn. This console variant integrates both video CD and photo CD functions as standard, offering enhanced playback features beyond just games. A karaoke unit is also announced for simultaneous release, expanding the multimedia options. For controllers, a new multi-system fighting stick Dual Plus is detailed,
And interestingly, a conversion cable is introduced that allows using Mega Drive pads on the Saturn. Compatibility testing is shown for various Mega Drive games, noting which work with the cable, including titles like Virtua Fighter, Myst, and Shanghai 2, Dragon's Eye. Finally, a new widescreen television designed specifically for the Saturn is presented, featuring dedicated terminals for easy connection and mode switching. The focus is clearly on enhancing the Saturn's capabilities as a multimedia hub.
This page focuses on highlighting 5 new software releases for the Game Gear this month. First up is Sonic Drift 2, the sequel to the power-up racing game. It features new characters like Knuckles, Metal Sonic, and Fang joining Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Dr. Eggman. The GP mode involves racing through circuits and earning points based on placement. Next is Gunstar Heroes, a port of the popular action shooting game from the Mega Drive. While some stages were cut for the Game Gear version, it retains the core action and diverse gameplay, including various weapon combinations and boss battles. Also featured is SD Gundam Winner's History, a simulation game where the focus is on controlling mobile suits in action. The page notes the appearance of several classic mobile suits from the series, although a key difference from other versions is the inability to see the opponent's unit until it's right upon you. Then there's Shin Megami Tensei, Last Bible Special, an RPG in the renowned series. Players form a party and explore dungeons, interacting with demons and progressing through a new storyline set in Jerusalem. Finally, Tama and Friends' Third Street Monster Panic is introduced, a game centered around the cat Tama and featuring various minigames, often involving avoiding obstacles. The page also briefly mentions the Game Gear Information Bureau, showcasing new screens for the upcoming titles, Tempo Jr. and Stargate. This page showcases a collection of upcoming titles for the Sega Saturn, Super 32X, Mega Drive, and Mega CD platforms under a prominent Coming Soon banner. Featured prominently is Romance of the Three Kingdoms IV for the Sega Saturn, a deep historical simulation game. The page highlights its detailed graphics, including satellite imagery for the map and various character illustrations. It also touches on the extensive character attribute system and the inclusion of an edit mode, promising a rich strategic experience. Next up is Pretty Fighter X, a fighting game for the Saturn, featuring a roster of female characters in diverse outfits. This appears to be an enhanced port of a previous title, noted for its significantly improved graphics and animations compared to its predecessor, with screenshots showing various characters battling in different stages. The page also covers Rayforce, tentative title, Taito's acclaimed vertical-scrolling arcade shooter making its way to the Saturn. The description emphasizes the game's signature lock-on laser mechanic and notes the potential for vertical screenplay, replicating the arcade feel. Finally, Wing Arms, tentative title, a 3D flight simulation shooter for the Saturn, is previewed. It allows players to pilot various aircraft and engage in missions ranging from air combat to ground attack objectives, with screenshots showing dogfights and bombing runs. This page continues to showcase the exciting lineup of games coming soon to Sega platforms. First up is Metal Fighter Miku for the Sega Saturn. Based on the anime of the same name, this game mixes adventure elements with real-time visual simulation battles. It focuses on character development and features the core group known as the Pretty Four in futuristic power suits, engaging in intense combat. Next is Battle Monsters on the Sega Saturn, a 2D fighting game distinct for its use of digitized graphics, similar to titles like Mortal Kombat. It features a diverse roster of strange characters, including monsters and humans, battling in expansive arenas with unique special moves and finishing blows. We also see 4D Boxing, a polygon-based boxing simulation game for the Sega Saturn, originally developed for PC. It emphasizes realistic movement and offers player customization options, promising a detailed simulation of the sport. For the Mega CD, Kaio Flying Squadron 2 is teased. Following up on the acclaimed first game, this sequel features the return of Rumi, blending side-scrolling action and shooting segments as she embarks on a new adventure. Finally, Mortal Kombat 2 arrives on the Super 32X. This port brings the popular fighting game, known for its digitized fighters and signature fatalities, to the powerful add-on, promising visuals and sound closer to the arcade experience compared to previous console versions. The page highlights the brutal combat and diverse cast of characters. This page showcases a diverse range of games on the horizon for Sega platforms.
Headlining the lineup are several Saturn titles, including the unique 3D action game Bug, which features movement into the screen, the enhanced arcade port of Virtual Racing boasting additional vehicles and courses, the educational anime adventure Emit Volume 1 designed for English learning, and the classic arcade racer Race Drive-In updated with new features. The Super 32X is also represented with the strategic simulation romance of the Three Kingdoms IV. A section titled Super Topic Information introduces other notable upcoming Saturn games, such as the Flight Simulator, Super 301 Square, and action titles like Toulouse, Stargate, and Warhammer. Furthermore, the third-party related information section provides a broad overview of numerous other titles announced or receiving updates from various publishers, spanning multiple genres and platforms, including Saturn, Super 32X, and Mega Drive/Genesis, highlighting new announcements and title changes. The page features plenty of screenshots to give players a taste of the visuals across these varied releases. This page presents a detailed release calendar for the Sega Saturn, Super 32X, Sega CD, and Game Gear, mapping out upcoming games across several months. For the Sega Saturn, highlights include the iconic Panzer Dragoon and the action-packed Die Hard in March, followed by the unique Virtua Fighter in April, and the RPG Magic Knight Ray Earth in July. A lengthy list of undated releases promises a diverse lineup featuring potential ports like Virtua Fighter 2 and Vampire Hunter, alongside titles such as Guardian Force and Cotton 2. The Super 32X section lists Tempo and Chaotix, plus major releases like Mortal Kombat 2 and Night Trap. Sega CD features titles like Prize Fighter, Double Switch, and the intriguing action RPG Shadowrun. Game Gear owners can anticipate Sonic Drift 2, Gunstar Heroes, and the stylish Comic Zone. A separate re-release calendar notes the missed port for Sega Saturn Credrom. An editor's postscript reflects on the state of the Sega Saturn, discussing production and strategy, including future focuses like Daytona USA. This page features two exciting titles. On the left we have Slank's classic fighting game, Fatal Fury Special, set for a March 31st release. This iteration of the series boasts an impressive roster of 15 characters, including fan favorites like Geese Howard and Wolfgang Krauser, who are now playable. It offers 6 difficulty levels, making it accessible for both newcomers and seasoned fighting game enthusiasts. The page displays dynamic character art and hints at the intense battles the series is known for. The right side highlights the Grand SF Spectacle RPG, Dai Houshinden, which is already on sale. This ambitious role-playing game draws inspiration from renowned Chinese classics like Journey to the West and Romance of the Three Kingdoms, promising a story that surpasses its source material in scale and incorporates unique science fiction elements. The game features intricate character drama and utilizes video animation to enhance its narrative presentation. Character portraits and screenshots showcasing the game world and battle system are also featured.